because this move does a million damage as a starter.
Oh my goodness, what is this combo?
Like, I'm trying to figure out the counterplay, bro. Like, help me.
Unika just dropped, and I'm here with Lucien to crack the code on how to play her.
Yo, what's up? I'm Lucien. I'm a competitive Guilty Gear player since release, and recently I just got second in one of the biggest net play brackets, Paragon Line, the ladder format. So, I feel relatively qualified to talk about Unika, her strengths, her weaknesses, how she plays, etc. So, hopefully I'll be able to explain that today.
Okay, so we're going to get right into the video. It's going to be divided into 5 little sections here. We're going to do quick initial thoughts, general game plan, talking about her strengths and potential weaknesses, then her advantage state, following up with things that are maybe worth exploring that you kind of messed around with, ending off with some closing thoughts. So, initial thoughts here. How are you feeling about Unika?
I think her kit has a lot of things that other strong characters in the past have had. She has a really good corner carry with, or if she doesn't want to, she can pretty much almost always get a hard knockdown with the X slide. And off those hard knockdowns, you can have, like, pretty ambiguous safe jumps, like here's the same side, and then cross it, it's like... Oh. There we go. Right? Pretty ambiguous mix-ups off that. Or she could just go into this, which is on block, a plus 12 guard crush projectile. So mid-screen her pressure is really good, but I feel like where she thrives the most is in the corner, because she OTGs with an H normal and then shoots this fireball after with her H follow-up. And this allows you to do a lot of things. One, it'll beat like every meterless DP in the game. Like, they either whiff or just get hit by the fireball and then they go through the wall, right? And it also allows you to beat reversal supers as well, because you're gonna do a dash cancel here. Most of the time you want to just like react to if they're blocking. Tyrant Rave is an example where it just gets hit by the fireball, but there are some supers in the game where you have to react to it with a like DP, and you have to react to if they blocked or not on your dash cancel. But dash canceling late is fine, because like I'm gonna delay this dash cancel like a lot, and I'm still like +7 in his face.
Sheesh. Okay, so yeah, a lot of strong options there off the rip. Kind of leads us right into the general game plan of Unika. You kind of talked about how she has some good Oki there, some good corner carry. What do you think are some of her general strengths and potential weaknesses of this character that affect her overall game plan?
I'm gonna start with her weaknesses because I feel like it's gonna be faster. She is slow. Very slow. Like, well, not very, but her move speed is a little slower than average on the ground, and her air movement is really slow. It's more close to like a Gold Lewis or an Abba type character than like with like Soul or Kai, right? So that's kind of what makes it kind of annoying to play around the air. Also, her air normals have like a lot of startup on them. Both her JS and her JH are frame 13, which makes air to airing some characters like Milia kind of annoying. But to make up for it, her damage is really high. I cannot underestimate like how this combo's not even optimal at all. I didn't spend any meter and I did 240 off like the most piss easy combo I could possibly do here. Her conversions with meter are also really strong because she fast RCs into DP, gets a lot of corner carry for a wall bounce, and then just breaks the wall anyway for a good chunk of damage.
Man, that's like mid screen too, off of just some
Off
kind
like
of
a
stray.
yeah. Her pokes are really strong, but some of them have a decent amount of recovery. Like her far slash is really similar to Ram far slash in the sense that it has like 20-ish frames of recovery, but it's also active for 6 frames and comes up relatively quick at frame 12, right? Her 5-edge is a giant counter hit fishing rod. If you counter hit someone with this in neutral, they explode and it's a giant disjoint.
They donate you a Lambo.
Yeah, like for real. On normal hit, like, yeah, this could just happen and your wild assault won't come out. So the most consistent thing to do is just go into 2-1-4s, which isn't bad by any means. Like, this is still a decent position for Unika, but it's not like as good of a position as say like going into slide would be here, right? Because you need to do like an EX special move beforehand, which you can only get off of the follow-up normals or off of 6H, which you can't do off of 5H and have that combo on grounded hit.
Okay, that makes sense. So she, so far, is probably the most Shoto-esque DLC character we've got so far. How do you feel like her buttons and whatnot relates to her macro game plan? Would you say that she wants to kind of play more like a Shoto, or what is your general approach to how you're confirming with Unika? Is you just using her big buttons to kind of fist for strays in neutral, or what's that kind of look like? How do her buttons and whatnot affect her general game plan?
I feel like you can play both styles, as you said. It's like a lot of how the matchup flows. Like if I'm fighting Soul, I'm mostly just gonna use my range on things like Far Slash or 2S. Just outrange him for the most part with these normals, try to bully him, and then if he blocks, then I can RPS after with the EX slide, and if he gets hit, I get a hard knockdown.
Yeah, and we went over the Oki a little bit already. We saw had some pretty strong options. We're gonna go into Oki a bit more in the next section, but I guess to kind of just round this out, we talked about some of her buttons at Far Slash being, what is it, 11 frames I think, or is it 12? 12 frames? Okay, it is 12 frames. Her 5H you spoke of note, really good button, 10 frames. Some uses with that. I wanna hear some uses with that, because I think, is it a pretty good anti-air as well situationally, or is it kind of just you're fishing for counter hits with it? How do some of these buttons interact?
There are some situations where anti-airing with it is pretty good, especially like in the corner, right? Which is gonna come up a lot, because if you want to like just end a block string normally, right, you're gonna a lot of the time just go into 2-on-4S, which is -8 on block, a guard crushes them. It's a pretty similar position on block to like say Nago 5H, right? So you're either gonna like end in this, or you could end in like a uncharged laser, which is -5 as well. So anti-airing is pretty important. Even if like you don't end in a special, a lot of the things you do are safe, like the Far Slash follow up here, -6, right? And trying to anti-air them out of the corner is pretty good. I think Unika's really good at that. And one of the options is 5H. For sure. Like, especially against characters like Milia, like that hits so high, it's so sick. And then on air hit, you just get this, bro.
Yeah, you get the Lambo. They toss you the keys. Yeah, so then to round that out, kind of we talked about the 5H. Are there any other buttons of note you'd want to point out for her general game plan for neutral and converting it into her offense?
I think her 5K is a little slept on at the moment. It's frame 7, but has a bit of a low crush on it, similar to Happy Chaos or Johnny's. Not the same strength as Johnny's, but more close to HC. And because his character gets like K button 2D into Wild Assault, her reward effort is pretty good as well. Most of the time leading into either a wall break, or if you're further from the wall, you could just get hard knockdown with slide.
Nice. All right, and speaking of hard knockdown into slide, let's go over some of that advantage state and combo theory, because from what it seems like, there's a bunch of different ways you could explore her combos into hard knockdown. Again, you already showed us a little bit of what that Oki is looking like. So just to start us off, what's one of the more generic B&Bs you found yourself sort of consistently routing to into pressure?
I think one of the more consistent ones I've been doing is just like Far Slash 2S dash cancel car into slide. This works from pretty much every range. It's really consistent, the timing's really lenient, and it leaves you into slide Oki, which is really strong. Right. Things like 5H 2-on-4S, as I mentioned, are also strong. This also works off 2S. You could do it here. The 2K 2D wild assault stuff that I showed earlier, right? Go into all that. For the most part, these are all pretty consistent, but I will say one thing that I need to start doing, because it's a little annoying, right? So the 2S follow-up is really good in combos because the timing is really lenient. But on block, it's
Ooh, -18,
not,
huh?
it's not good. It's not good at all. And the worst part about it is pretty much like you have to play RPS on block, which isn't the worst thing, right? It isn't the worst thing in the world to play RPS, obviously, right? But if they hold up after blocking this, you kind of just can't go into slide RPS, and you have to go for the overhead here, which is pretty telegraphed. It can be mashed on. If they just stand block it, you're -6. But if they're just holding up to beat slide, then you bring them back down over, I believe, like +7. in this position, which is fine. It's not the
Mhm.
worst thing in the world, but it's just a bit annoying. Meanwhile, I could be doing the far slash follow up,
Mm.
and instead of having that issue where they could jump the slide, it'll frame trap their jump.
Ah, I see. And this route is largely the same as, I mean, if you're going to hit them, would you be doing this anyways? And so it's just like whatever, send
Yeah,
it, or is
it's
it?
pretty similar on hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the annoying part about it is from further ranges, right? Think like tipper far slash range.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it feels a little inconsistent. It could just be me being bad, but you see how that didn't combo, right? You just have to do that really quick compared to how you would go about doing the 2S one, which is really lenient.
I see. So a little bit of like decision making there on like what you want to go into or give up for consistency versus pressure, you'd say,
Better
or
on block, yeah.
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now that hard knockdown situation, do you want to go right into that hard knockdown situation and talk about some of the Oki, or do you want to go over more specific combos and B&Bs and how they relate to that knockdown or similar knockdowns first? What are you thinking?
I'll just go into the Oki because pretty much almost every combo this character does routes into slide. The like main time you're not getting it is off of 5H, and you kind of just have to run up, take space, and then play the boxing game, which isn't that bad because you force this much corner carry. They're already in the corner at this point.
Okay.
On multiple routes are hit, right?
So you'd say then
most
that,
of the time-
yeah, going into slide here is probably how, for combo theory, what you're looking for with Unika, it seems like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
If you're closer to the corner, though, let's say, you do get a confirmed with that EXTP, which does a lot of damage, leads to a meteorless wall break off of a lot of pokes, but like you can't do it from like absolute max range, right? It'll just whiff.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be conscious of your ranges. You have to be conscious of like, all right, I got this hit. I have to go into DP if I want the wall break here, as opposed to all right, well I can take Oki here again. I can OTG, go for the Oki, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Alrighty, so as far as the Oki is concerned, is there anything in particular you'd want to go over with mid-screen Oki versus corner Oki you kind of showed us? Or is it all kind of the same? Are there any other setups you want to go over and put a light on with this character so far?
It's pretty similar. I mean, there was the JH left right that I showed earlier. It can safe jump. You just have to be like really good on your timing for it. It's a lot of manual times for if you want same side or cross up. So you just have to be consistent on your timing if you want it to safe jump. But a lot of the time, you're like there are only like 7 characters in this game with the DP, bro. Like
Yep.
you're probably fine.
Okay.
If you like mess up by like 2 frames or something, there's a lot to cast.
That's true.
I-
Oh, good. Yep.
I do want to go over some stuff in the corner though, because if you do like a micro dash before you jump here, I'm just doing JK because it's like a little easier, but you do get a mix up here. Alright, that was the high, and here's the
I
low,
see.
right?
And this
You
is
can
all
just run
based
the-
off that same setup, right? With the you're going into slide essentially, and then that same combo that we were talking about. That's the main combo theory, and it just leads into the setup. The only difference is you're in the corner now, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. And the overhead will safe jump 9 frame DPs, which is pretty helpful.
Okay.
But that's you can opt for that, but most of the time, like off a hard knockdown, I still opt for 2H OTG into 5H because you don't beat most reversals anyway. And the pressure after is pretty good. It's pretty similar to like think like Kai charged on edge, right? Has a lot of similar traits to it in terms of just Oki.
Okay. Now, as far as other combos are concerned, big thing is I think is probably anti-airs. What's up with their 6P? What's going on with this button?
Okay, so this is something that I honestly should have mentioned in the strengths and weaknesses section, but her 6P does not have the most consistent combo potential, to say the least, right? Like I'm hitting this now, but like
It's
say
also
I
like
get
max
soul-
height right now off that
Yep.
jump, which is not going to be all the
so
time.
Let's say I have soul IDing at me, right? That could just happen,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to hold. And your only like real way around it is like you kind of just have to do wild assault instead, which is like it's fine, you know, you still get like wows or corner carry and all that, but sometimes this just happens anyway if they're too close. So it's not, you don't get the most consistent things on normal hit 6p, which is kind of annoying. On counter hit though, I believe this is pretty consistent. Like if they're higher, then you have to delay it a bit, but it's pretty consistent. It's to all this. Or you go into charge while it's still
I see.
But I still need to explore the routing off of this because of the way the scaling is of 6p. It's probably just something like this, but I wonder if there's something better.
Okay. So, would you say that you still, want to be looking to 6p if possible with this character as your dedicated anti-air, or would you maybe look at 5ping more, air throw? What do you
I think her 6p is really good because it has a lot of the same strengths as Kai 6p. It's just you don't get the same conversions as him because he always goes into direct flat. He gets a hard knockdown. Sure, he's a bit far from you, but he can still run up, take his safe jab, be able to run off that. Unika doesn't really have that. So a lot of the time what I've been doing is I've just been either air to airing with JS because the routing for this is pretty consistent if you hit it like close enough. It's going to JH, 5H, 2 and 4S. Or I've been going into 5P, which is also pretty consistent and pretty rewarding too without meter. Even with meter, like you go into super, you effectively double the damage of the combo, bro.
Shoosh. Alrighty. I think the last part then to round out this section is going to be throw. Have you found anything off of throw? Any throw setups or just anything generic so far?
So everything you can do off of EX slide, you can just do off of throw because let's see, EX slide is raw like plus 53, throw is plus 53. So you get the same Oki and you're at like a really similar spacing. Yeah, so you could do the with 5p one if you want. What I've been doing for the most part is I've been doing the same like dash left right
Just
that I
dash
was
left,
doing
right.
on slide.
Okay,
Yeah.
that does seem like it's a bit stronger because of the fact that it is, as you said, the left right. So
One thing I will also note is if you go for the with 5p and they FP it, right? That's pretty important too. Let's say you just do like this. They FD it, you're not in close touch range. But if you do the dash up, you're in close touch range. You can go close
I
touch,
see.
you can dash it that way.
Now, how hard is it to consistently get the dash up safe jump? Is that like an eyeball kind of thing? It's about the same as doing it off the combo earlier, or?
It's about the same as off of slide, but you kind of just have to eyeball a lot of it. It's kind of annoying to do, honestly, but if you can eyeball it, you get it consistent, it'll be really strong.
Okay, nice. Alrighty then, the next section are things that might be worth exploring. I think I'll kind of also group in some general block pressure concepts because we didn't really go over that yet. Is there anything that you're really exploring with on block or anything that you think is just kind of worth doing so far?
So on block, like again, I mentioned 2 and 4S. It's pretty similar to Nago 5H in a sense, where you're kind of RPSing after space on a guard crosses -8, right? But the main thing that I've been doing in conjunction with it is I've been doing 5HH just raw in a block string. Now, normally this wouldn't be great. It's like a frame 25 fireball where like yeah, if you get it, you're fine, right? You're plus 10. But here's the fun part about this. If they try the IAD at you, I might be crash. You can just cancel on whiff in the DP.
That's
so
crazy.
they kind of just lose
Sure.
if they IAD at you. So then that leaves to a lot of characters is doing like a neutral jump, right? And not a lot of characters have the like craziest options here. And Unika can still cancel this on whiff, or something like a whiff or something. There you go, right? She can still dash cancel it into like an overhead to catch you lacking a little bit, right? Because she still has whiff cancels into enhanced special moves for some reason off of it. Or like she could just normally dash if she's like, okay, I've gotten this guy to stop IEDing at me, I'm just gonna dash up here. I'm gonna take my turn potentially.
Yeah, that spacing
And
in
because
general.
the dash up ERC as well as an option.
Yeah, and that spacing in general is just pretty strong, right? Like you're pretty far away, like about mid screen, like under the clock. You can react to things as you were saying. Just some decent like options after that because you are effectively plus if they block it. So I mean, just being underneath the clock. Actually, is it plus when they block it? Is that the charge version, or am I trolling?
Yeah, no. So you dash cancel here, and you're plus 10.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, definitely, definitely is like a why not. That seems like a pretty decent option to just force an interaction out of your opponent.
Yeah, and I've gotten some people to air block this fireball too, so I'm not exactly sure what the counterplay is to it besides holding up. But the problem is if you hold up on 5H, you get hit by 214S and you lose the game immediately because this move does a million damage as a starter.
Oh my goodness, what is this combo?
Like, it does that much, bro.
True. All right. So just hold that or what?
Like, I'm trying to figure out the counterplay, bro. Like, help me.
Oh my goodness. So, is there anything else that you feel in the with this character's kit so far that you've been kind of like exploring with? I've seen some people do some like JD things on block into IED. I don't know how worth that's going for. If it's worth going for, I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen some of it. I haven't really been going for it because honestly, like, my problem is it's like, okay, I'm gonna do JD into an air dash on my opponent's block. I sure hope they don't 6B me.
6B, yeah.
I hope this doesn't happen. Ah, shucks, I lost.
Yeah. A little bit of risk reward that might not be worth, like, putting yourself into that kind of situation kind of thing.
Yeah, which is why I haven't really been opting for it. One thing I have seen making the rounds a bit recently is people doing like a meaty overhead, right? Now, this isn't plus, it's still -1, but with how strong Unika utilizes like stuff like backdash BRC, I think it'll be fine if you have the meter.
Yeah.
Right? I timed it a bit wrong. I got -3 instead of -1, but still. But the most important thing is you get a combo on normal today.
Oh really? Is that like one of the
Yeah.
later active frames of it, or essentially?
Yeah, because you hit with it later, you have more time to recover. You get call slash, so
that's crazy. Okay, how has her meter build seemed? Has you noticed? Does it seem about kind of like normal, like average character, or is it Johnny levels meter build? What does it feel like?
It feels pretty high. I like, okay, every character I've played before this, I've played Kai on release, and then I swapped to Happy Chaos, and then I've secondaried Sin for the longest, right? All of those characters typically have a decent amount of meter gain on them, right? Happy Chaos especially having the most, right? But this character's meter gain feels pretty similar to Sin's in a sense, because you're gonna go into special moves a lot, or you're gonna go into like the 5HH on block and stuff, because you're doing a lot of follow-ups after things, and you're gonna do a lot of special moves just in general as you play. So your meter gains is gonna be pretty high.
Nice. It's always good to have, especially in this season of the game, with, I mean, just going for wall break, being able to loop, hard knockdown potentially. Also just more conversions, making your pressure safer. I mean, meter is just always a great thing to have, essentially. Anything else in the worth exploring section that you want to touch over? Anything you've been messing with outside of pressure, neutral, defense?
So there's two things I want to note regarding pressure specifically, right? The first thing is a bit of a fuzzy. You need meter to convert it, but you're playing Unika.
True.
I didn't even break the wall and I did 200 damage. Off a fuzzy. Off of a fuzzy.
50-50. Guess better, idiot.
Like, come on. If people get hit by Giovanna's, bro, they're gonna get hit by Unikas.
That's true.
Like,
Jesus Christ. And then, yeah, speaking of meter, you get that essentially back, because positive bonus.
Positive bonus. Like, you're gonna play neutral, you're gonna swing a bit. Look, I have it back. I did 2 normals.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the second thing I've been thinking about exploring is because these let you dash cancel, you can go into BRC
Oh, wait a
after, right?
minute.
So because of that, you could true string on block into the 2H follow-up after 5H, which frame traps into the guard crush laser,
Oh, so you're
which feels pretty strong.
plus 12 with like 50 risk cranked, which is
Plus
pretty
12,
nice.
50 risk, guard crush, and if they get counter hit here, they fucking die.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
they actually either die or give you the burst, and taking the resource is also just a good thing to have happen. So that's
For sure.
definitely, I think, worth exploring there. So that has been Unika so far. Any closing thoughts on this character so far?
I think she's pretty strong. She'll definitely have a place in the meta, I think. But the thing about this game in general is there are a lot of other really strong characters in it. Think Johnny, think Ram, think Pot, think Sin, think Mei, right? There are so many characters that are just really strong and really overtuned at the moment that even with all the stuff that Unica has, I don't exactly know where she'll end up. She'll definitely be on the higher, on like the top half of the cast in terms of the tier list, but I just don't know where. But I think she'll definitely be strong. She definitely has some matchups that I'm looking to play in the future, just alongside Sin and Happy Chaos. But we'll see as they come, as the character gets more developed, as people find more counterplay. We'll see. We'll see how things shake up.
Okay. And I guess lastly, immediate thoughts. Are there any matchups that jump out to you that feel on first try, first attempt playing the game with her really bad or really strong?
Okay. So there are a couple. I'll point out the bad ones first. Slayer feels terrible. I hate this. It's so bad. It's not even close. It's like, okay, you're trying to catch him, right? Because he's either going to do Hand of Doom, and like if you DP him or something, right? Which, mind you, the DP doesn't even hit Master's Hammer half the time. You just get counter hit, and then you take like 1,000,000 damage because it's the same health pool as Ram, right? So he's going to hit you with that. Or he's going to just belligerence his way through neutral because your buttons are like, they're good, but compared to like, I don't know, think like a Kai or or a Chip, right? They're a bit slower, so it's harder to really get anything impactful unless you're being really preemptive. And if you're being really preemptive, you're getting whiff punished by K-Mappa, which then you may as well just lose. I can't lie. Johnny feels better than I thought it would, but still feels kind of bad. What's it? If Johnny keeps you in the corner, it's like a pretty similar position, honestly, to like Gold Lewis Johnny, because of her move speed. Like, she can't really like jump out of the corner against Johnny because he's so slow, and her move speed is slower than average on the ground, and it's hard to box versus Johnny in general, let alone when your far slash is 12 frames compared to his 9. So it's definitely annoying. But the really good matchups I've played so far, I played a little bit against Gold Lewis. This matchup feels really good. 5H as an anti-air feels really strong, especially on round start 2. Boxing him in is really good. That's always a key thing when you're fighting a character like Gold Lewis. You want to see how well you can box him in, keep him from playing the game. And I think Unica does that pretty well. Not as good as like a character like Sin, but I think she does it pretty well. She'll definitely be decent into him. I think she does really good into Elfelt. Her DP's massive. Her grounded backdash leaves her with a lot of unique punish opportunities that a lot of other characters don't really get against Elfelt. If you backdash BRC, let's say Pineberry, right? You just got a close slash punish.
That is, I can see that actually being particularly good. I didn't really think about the fact that her having a grounded backdash BRC means that she does get access to such punishes like that versus having to go for an air normal or something.
Yeah, that seems pretty strong. Now, a matchup that I will say feels a bit better than I thought it would is Chip. I'm not gonna say it's winning, even, whatever. This matchup feels fine because you have a really good, really big DP that you can just throw out there, and your 2K's frame 6, which was always really huge against Chip when he just like ends his turn in Rekka 2, UIB it, and having a character with a frame 6 2K that you can go into 2K 2D Wild Assault with is really strong against that pressure.
Alrighty then. Well, if that's the case, I think we've gone over a lot of good stuff here with Unica here. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how she develops over time. I think, honestly, her design is pretty cool. Big buttons, well, big-ish buttons. That freaking 5H. Oh my goodness. I live and die for that 5H sometimes. But thank you, as always, Lucien, for coming through here and doing this little guide with us. Anything you want to shout out right quick before we hop out?
I'm gonna shout out my Twitter at LucienSFL. You can find me there. You can find me at LucienSFL on most things, pretty much. I do plan to start streaming again on Twitch at some point soon, so look out for that. I'll definitely talk about it more on Twitter.
Word. Alrighty, well, thank you for your time, and everybody, yeah, go shout out Lucien, go check them out on Twitter and everything, and also, while I have you here, check us out in Bad Moon, give us a like, subscribe if you like this kind of content. We can do more guides like this in the future with more of the players. So, thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.